Okay, so let's unpack the source material. We're diving into full stack development today.
We are.
And I think our mission here is to really cut through all the noise and just give a clear picture of how modern web apps are actually built.
Yeah, and the key thing to get right from the start is that full stack isn't about memorizing every single technology out there.
Right.
It's more about understanding the system. How all the major parts, the front end, the back end, the database, how they all connect and actually talk to each other.
It's that system architecture. That's the foundation.
Exactly.
Let's start where the user is, the front end, the client side.
What you see on your screen.
Yep, the visual layer, the UI, the UX, everything you click and interact with. And it's built on, it's still the three core pillars, right?
Always. HTML for the structure, the skeleton.
CSS for all the style and making it look good.
And, of course, JavaScript for the interactivity. The magic.
Which is why we see so many frameworks like React or Angular or Vue. They're just trying to manage all that JavaScript complexity.
They have to. Modern interfaces are incredibly complex. So if the front end is the face, the back end is, well, it's the brain.
That's a good way to put it. It's the server side doing all the heavy lifting.
All the business logic, the data processing, and this is critical, the security. Things like authentication.
So proving you are who you say you are.
And authorization, which is defining what you're actually allowed to do once you're in. That's all handled on the server with tools like Node.js and Express, or maybe Python with Django.
Okay, so if the brain and the face need to talk, how does that actually happen? How do they communicate securely?
That is the perfect question. It's all about the API, the application programming interface.
Bridge between them.
I'd say it's less a bridge and more of a really strict waiter at a restaurant.
Huh, okay, I like that.
The front end places a very specific order, a request like log this user in or get me product details. The API takes that order to the kitchen, the back end.
And the back end brings back the food.
Exactly. It brings back the data, usually packaged up neatly in JSON format.
Which, for anyone wondering, just stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It's just a simple, lightweight text format for sending data around.
It's the universal language, so the whole journey looks like this.
Yeah.
A user clicks.
The front end sends a request through the API.
The back end gets it, talks to the database for information.
The database sends it back to the back end.
And the back end sends the final result back to the front end to display. That's a full circle. And that choice of database is huge.
Right. It's not one size fits all.
Not at all. You'd use a SQL database like PostgreSQL when every transaction has to be perfect, like in banking. But for a social media feed that needs to scale massively, you might go with a NoSQL database like MongoDB.
Okay, so we have the anatomy. Now, for anyone listening, you need the playbook. Understanding the code is one thing, but knowing the real-world workflow is another.
It saves you so much time and pain.
Instead of a long list, let's think of it in 3 phases. You have the strategy phase, requirements, UI/UX design.
Yep, the planning.
Then the build phase. That's the coding, front-end, back-end, database integration. And then the maintenance phase, testing, deploying, and all the updates.
And you can't do any of that without the right tools.
Right.
Every professional developer lives in these.
You absolutely need Git and GitHub. Version control is non-negotiable.
So you don't end up with, Final Code Dev 4 for realthisTime.js.
We've all been there. Then you need a good code editor like VS Code and something like Postman to test your APIs.
For sure. But if there's one skill to build above all others, it's system thinking, seeing how it all fits. And, your JavaScript fundamentals have to be absolutely solid.
So what's the big takeaway here? We've moved past just a list of terms and really given you the conceptual map, the architecture of how this stuff is built.
It's a powerful skill set.
No doubt. And now you have that foundation to see the complete picture.
Exactly. And with that clarity, here's a final thought to explore. Thinking about that real-world workflow, what aspect of deployment, say, using tools like Docker for containerization or cloud platforms like AWS, will have the biggest impact on your app security and its ability to scale to millions of users? That's where it gets really interesting.